Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Sunday, August 31st, 2014. It's been a humid day. Looks like it's going to have some rain showers and thunder showers here in Billerica. Some news to report. The Boston Red Sox blanked the Tampa Bay Rays by a score 3-0. And also the Kansas City Chiefs re-signed their quarterback Alex Smith to a 4-year contract extension. And also next Sunday is the start of NFL season, and only 38 more days away into the start of the NHL season. Up here in the Northeast, especially Boston, we want to have the NFL and NHL season start because of the disappointing way the Red Sox have been playing this year. Go Patriots, go Bruins. They're going to have great seasons, I think. I don't know if they're going to win the championships of their respective leagues, but I think they have a good shot of winning a division for the regular season title. We'll wait on the playoffs with both of these teams. And my third and final video blog of the night is about my personality profile, which is one of WWE's most famous divas of all time. You know who I'm talking about, Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is a WWE Hall of Famer. She won the women's title 7 times, and she's probably the most successful WWE diva of all time. She grew up in Richmond Hills, Ontario, Canada. Her real name is Patricia Ann Stratusnen. She's Greek. And she went to York University in Ontario. She wanted to study to go into the medical field. She wanted to be a doctor. But in 1997, the faculty at York University went on strike, and she changed her career plan. She got a job as a receptionist in a fitness studio, and then somebody looked at her. She says, "You should be a fitness model." And then Trish became a fitness model, and then she was on several talk shows in Toronto area on live audio wrestling because she grew up a big wrestling fan, and she was approached to become a professional wrestler, and she was trained by Ron Hutchinson to train for the WWE, and she was so assigned to the WWE. She made her debut in the WWE in March 19th, 2000 on Sunday Night Heat as a valet and manager. The first 2 guys she managed was Test and Albert, and they formed a tag team called TNA. TNA had marginal success in the WWE when they were together. They feuded with the Dudley Boys, and Trish got thrown through a table by Bubba Ray Dudley. And she also managed Val Venus to the IC championship. And also, this is when TNA in the summer of 2000 feuded with the Hardy Boys and Lita, and Trish and Lita started their feud, had one of the most heated rivalries in women's history in the WWE. And then she also wrestled other divas like Molly Holly and Jacqueline. Around the first of the year 2001, Trish became involved in a storyline with WWE owner Vince McMahon, and Vince and Trish was having kind of an affair. This is when Vince's wife Linda was in a coma state, and the storyline said Vince was having an affair. He wanted a divorce from Linda in the storyline. So a couple of times Trish and Vince were making out, and Linda was in the wheelchair in a coma state. Very funny. And also, Trish feuded with Vince's daughter, Stephanie McMahon, as well. And also, one Monday Night Raw, Vince told Trish to bark like a dog. Very funny stuff, even though people thought it was demeaning. This was in the height of the WWE Attitude Era. So, pretty funny stuff. But at WrestleMania 17, Trish turned face when she slapped Vince, and then she and Stephanie got into a cat fight. Trish then teamed with Lita, and they feuded with Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler during the WWE Invasion angle, where WCW wrestlers signed with the WWE, and it was an invasion, but that invasion flopped. I'll get to that when I get to that. And like Trish was injured for a while. She hurt her ankle and she recuperated. Then she like became briefly a commentator on WWE Access. It was like a show on TNN on Saturday nights. In Survivor Series 2001, Trish won her first WWE Women's title in a six-pack challenge. And Trish like held the title for a long time. She feuded with Jazz and Molly Holly and Victoria over the women's title. During 2002-2003, she had like a street fight with Victoria at Survivor Series 2002. She also had a three-way dance with Jazz and Victoria at WrestleMania 19. She also had a three-way with Lita and Jazz at WrestleMania 18, and she was getting to be very popular. She also feuded with Gail Kim around this time. And in December of 2003, she and Lita teamed up and they faced Chris Jericho and Christian in like a battle of a sexes match. And this was like a good, decent feud. And then like Trish went back to kind of managing because she had tension between Chris Jericho and Christian. And she sided with Chris Jericho at first, but when Chris Jericho wrestled Christian at WrestleMania 20, Trish Stratus turned heel and feuded with Christian. And became Christian's manager, and then they brought in Tyson Tomko, and they feuded all over. Trish became a heel again. People were booing her. And then she wrestled again, and she regained the women's title over Victoria, and then she feuded again with Lita. She had like an angle with Lita when Lita was gonna was married to Kane storyline, and then like the heel divas like threw a party for Lita, and it was some funny stuff. And then like Trish interrupted Lita's and Kane's wedding, and this feud was pretty hot. And then they continued to feud for several months. They swapped the WWE Women's title a couple of times, and then Lita got hurt and she couldn't wrestle for a while, and Lita brought a protege, Christy Hemme, who was the 2004 Diva Search champion, and Lita managed Christy Hemme for a match at WrestleMania 21 against Trish for the women's title. Lita beat Christy Hemme easily, and a lot of fans were cheering Trish Stratus, even though she was a heel, and booing Christy Hemme kind of out of the building. And she turned face again, Trish Stratus, and she's continued to be on minor feuds and stuff. But the next big feud for Trish Stratus was in October of 2005 when a crazed fan, played by Mickie James, kind of followed and stalked Trish Stratus. They she kind of had a crush angle on her, kind of a female crush angle on her. She was liking Trish and interfering in her matches and stuff. They had some tag team matches together and stuff like that. But eventually Trish just didn't really want to be associated with Mickie James, and then Mickie James snapped and turned heel. And at WrestleMania 22, Mickie James beat Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's title, and then they got into a crazy feud. Trish dyed her hair like Mickie James, and they kind of stalked each other. Pretty stuff. Trish is not a natural blonde. Her real hair color's brown. And they continued this feud right into the middle of 2006, and this is about the time when Trish Stratus was going to retire and leave the WWE for to get married and start her own business. Her last full-time match on the WWE roster was on September 17, 2006 at a pay-per-view in Toronto, Canada. She beat Lita for the WWE Women's title for the seventh and final time. She retired. A couple weeks later, she got married, and most of the WWE divas were in her bridal shower and at her wedding ceremony. And she made several cameo appearances back in the WWE since then, at the 15th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. She made a couple in 2008. She now had her natural hair color brown hair. She dyed her hair. So she dyed her hair she's not a natural blonde. 2008, she opened up a yoga studio in suburban Toronto, Canada, called Stratospheres, and it's a very successful business for yoga. If you're in the Toronto area, I recommend you go there if you want to learn yoga from a WWE Hall of Famer. I'm not big on yoga, by the way. And then she's continuing to make several more appearances, and she finally got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013. At age 37, she was one of the youngest inductees of all time. And she's married now, and she has a kid named Max, which was born last year. And Max's godmother is fellow WWE Hall of Fame diva leader. And, you know, Trish Stratus is probably the best women's diva of all time. People call her probably the best women's wrestler of all the time, but that is very, very debatable. I think she might be in the top like 10, but you gotta consider other women's wrestlers beforehand, like the fabulous Moolah, Medusa, Michelli, and Alundra Grace, Sensational Sherry, Mae Young, and a few others. So, but I think Trish is the most successful WWE diva of all time. There was a DVD of her career that came out in 2003. I have a Trish t-shirt. I used to have a Trish action figure doll. I wish she could write an autobiography. Maybe one of these days she will. She hasn't done a shoot interview yet, but she's still on good terms with the WWE, so I don't think we'll see her doing a shoot interview for our video anytime in the near future. And now that's about it for my video blogs of the night. I hope you continue to enjoy these. Tomorrow I'll have 3 more blogs, and I'm not going to tell you what they are right now. You got to see on the final post of the night what it's going to be about. And then we're going to continue on with more blogs. Wednesday is going to be the top 10 greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time, and my weekly NFL picks. I'm going to pick every game, who's going to win, who's going to lose. I'm not going to pick a tie, because you can't pick ties when you're betting. And hardly NFL games end in ties anyway. So that's about it for tonight. Good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. The likes are getting to be amazing. The viewerships continue to grow on YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget, if you want a shout out, PM me. It will be shouted out. Bye now. Good night.